Welcome back to another episode of Music Club FM. Today I thought we were supposed to be doing download this week, but it's next week. So this week we're going straight into another episode all about kind of new music and discovery. This week we're starting off with the incredible So When You Gonna by Dreamwife. They have an album coming out at the start of next month. I'm super excited for that album. Everything that's been released so far is spectacular, and we'll be going in depth with them when that album comes out. As always, if you want to listen to this as a playcast, which is broken into chapters with a playlist on Spotify, you can do Music Club FM 009, and you can find that playlist. There's also a link in the description below where you can get them individually curated. But for now, let's start the show with So When You Gonna by Dreamwife. That record there is spectacular. I love it. I know I say that at the start of the after every first record, but that record in particular is brilliant. I love how loud and aggressive it is. They're a band I really want to see live. Hope they play Reading and Leeds next year. I think Enemy 10, maybe third from top. Spot on. That'd be brilliant. Next, we're moving into a bit of hip-hop. We're going over to the States to go check out the newest project between Travis Scott and Kid Cudi, entitled The Scots. The song is also called The Scots. It feels to me like Travis Scott is in the wake of Kanye being Kanye, while he's going off and being, Jesus loves me. That Travis Scott is just filling that void that we need from amazing hip-hop. I hope we see more from Travis Scott in the next year, because I think he's a potential future headliner for R&L and major festivals in the UK. I just think that he is brilliant, and I'd like to see him just elevate to that next level up. For that, I think we need one more album. Astro World was, of course, huge, but I think it would be cool to have another one. So if we have one more, then I think we'll probably see him headline R&L and other major festivals. This, for now, though, is Kid Cudi and Travis Scott, entitled The Scots.
Cops outside, lock up the house, we get the team on high, some gold in their mouth.
When it came to Wiley versus Stormzy, I was Team Stormzy. Like, don't get me wrong, Wiley is the godfather of grime. He is the OG. But when it came to that argument, Wiley likes to just start an argument for the sake of starting an argument a lot of the time. However, he is brilliant. He is absolutely incredible. And his music went on to define the whole genre. So I have immense respect for Wiley, and he has some incredible records over the years. He's also had some absolutely whack records. But when he went up against Stormzy, I was Team Stormzy. I really was. I thought Stormzy's responses were better. I preferred I'm Disappointed, and I loved Still Disappointed as well. I think that they were both incredible records from Stormzy. I thought Wiley's weren't as on point. However, Wiley does come through with some wonderful records every so often. This one is so massive. It's like 8 a.m. and I am blasting this as loud as I possibly can, because it's just one that will wake you up. This is the wonderful Bruce Wayne by Wiley.
You don't really want smoke, you're just looking for the clout. I couldn't say a word to a man if he didn't run up his mouth.
Lil Sims. I slept on Lil Sims, like too long. Damon Albarn years ago was talking about how amazing Lil Sims was, and she is the future, and I just didn't really pay much attention until maybe last year, and I heard records like 101 FM, which are phenomenal records. She is a ridiculously talented artist and has worked with some incredible people. She featured on the SLP's album last year, which I loved. I loved her own music in 101 FM. I thought she was phenomenal in Top Boy. She's just such a diverse and talented artist. She recently released an EP in the middle of COVID lockdown, and this record is just taken from that. In a world where grime is not as big as it once was and drill has kind of taken over, Lil Sims is flying the flag for how it should be done, and in many ways flying the flag for women rappers. I think for female rappers, Lil Sims is there's a whole conversation to be had there, but she's arguably one of the best female rappers, and actually one of the best rappers. I think if you take away the fact that she's a woman, I think she's still absolutely phenomenal and could take most blokes on, no problem at all. This record, the production is phenomenal. It's so like raw and British. It's that kind of thing for me. It doesn't sound like it could be made in America for 1 second. And her ability to flow and rhyme words is just unparalleled. She's absolutely amazing. Anyway, I'll leave this one with you. This is Might Bang, Might Not by Lil Sims.
Confidence, Lauren Hill back in the 90s, bitch. Feeling herself, yeah, I might be, bitch. Got a no soul when you know that, but the olders make way for the 90s, kid.
The next record is one that I have had in my library for a couple of weeks now, and I think is just stunning. And that is Black Dog by Arlo Parks. Mental health is a very, very important subject, one that I hold dearly to my heart. I have had people in my life that have really suffered badly from mental health. Personally, I've had bouts of anxiety in my life, and this song just speaks to me. What Arlo has managed to do with this record is take a subject which is so deep and horrible and just kind of simplify it to understand it for a lot of people. And for those that do understand it, it gives this bizarre sense of relief, I guess, that other people understand it. And I think this is just one of the best records of the year because of that. I don't know much else by Arlo Parks. I know that she was featured by Radio 1 on the Sounds of 2020. She joined the likes of Inhaler and Easy Life and Georgia and Bieber Doobie. Just an amazing talent, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of what comes from her, because this record is literally just one that I have on repeat all the time. It is such a beautiful record. This is Black Dog by Arlo Parks.
I would do anything to get you out your room.
So those last four records were new music from black artists, and there is a huge movement for Black Lives Matter at the moment. I mean, unless you've been living under a rock, then you would have seen that there has been some absolutely atrocious things happening to black people in America over the last 150 years. Just some facts here for you. 155 years ago, slavery was abolished in America. 150 years ago, black men were given the right to vote. And still to this day, racism lives in an extreme capacity across America. Last week, George Floyd was murdered by a policeman. The police officer held his knee on George Floyd's throat for just under 9 minutes and ended his life. Policemen are there to serve and protect the community, and they're paid by taxpayers who pay them to serve and protect them. And he ended the life of someone who he had promised to serve and protect. I don't think that would have happened if he was white. I don't think that. And I don't know the facts. It'd be interesting to see some statistics, but I can almost guarantee that if he was white, it wouldn't have happened. So this isn't a podcast that's about politics. This isn't a podcast or a show that is about any really serious matters. This is about sharing new music. That's the point of this show. And I wanted to highlight some incredible black artists this week. We've got loads more to talk about as well. Like, it's not just that we're just like picking a few out of a hat. Like, I select a show based on music, and sometimes they happen to be black artists, sometimes they don't. But the last four artists that have fresh records out, the Scots, Wiley, Little Sims, Arlo Parks, they're all black artists, and I think it's important that we celebrate and highlight those artists. I've also put together a playlist called True Innovators. If you can't tell, I'm a white man, and I recognise my privilege, right? Like, I'm not saying that I don't have hard things in my life. There aren't things in my life that are hard. There are things in my life that would be harder if I was a woman, if I was gay, if I was black. And so that privilege has to be recognised. It's as simple as it is. I'm not saying people don't have hardships in their lives. I'm saying that mine would be harder if I wasn't white. And that's a fact. That's not up for debate. That is a fact. I also have this platform, and I have an audience. You know, it's not a big one. It's 2020. This just shouldn't be a conversation we're having. But we have to have it. This is 2020. I wish we weren't having this conversation, but we have to. So I'm using my platform here to be as equal as I possibly can. I can't go out and protest because of lockdown, and I don't think that's... your circumstance might be different, and if you think that's the right thing to do, then you should go do that. I don't think in my current situation that that's the right thing to do, so I'm not going to do that. However, I've curated a playlist of what I've called True Innovators. And True Innovators is a collection of 21 tracks. 21 tracks from black artists that have touched and inspired my life and have shaped music for what it is today. Music's something that I hold very dearly to my heart. If you watch this show, I'm sure that you're also someone that holds music closely to your heart. Each one of these people on this playlist have absolutely shaped music, and it's something that needs to be celebrated. So it's not much. I'm not doing a lot. I could be doing a lot more, I feel sure. But there are some incredible stories out there where people are saying that it's important to take the perspective from black people and from their cultures, and to respect their cultures and empower their cultures, and this is me using my platform to do that. I think if you don't know a lot of black music or know a lot of people to listen to, like this, you know, you can easily, anyone can go and watch Malcolm X or go read the Nelson Mandela autobiography, or go and listen to Martin Luther King's speeches. But you know what? We have this day to day. Like, go and listen to some black artists. There are some amazing people out there that have spoken about this literally for years. This playlist is just scratching the surface of how black culture has impacted my life for the better, and I just wanted to put this together as a thank you and a celebration of those artists in a time when I think unity and celebration is needed the most. That link is in the description if you want to go listen to that. I've got Apple Music and Spotify links. I know it's not a lot, but it's the least I could do. And we will continue to play and support incredible black artists on this show, as well as disrupting any other prejudices in this world. I do not stand for them. I don't think any of you guys stand for them, and together, by celebrating them, I think we will eradicate them. So that link is in the description below. We've got Apple Music and Spotify links. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a lot, is it? But it's the least I can do, and I hope that in some way this just helps one person just realise the impact of black culture on my life and music in general, and I think healthy discussion is encouraged. On with the show. Next, we're playing the latest record. Oh wow, this is just a super group of artists here. No Rome, Biba Doobie and J-Som. Wow, that's like a Dirty Hits special there, isn't it? This record is called Hurry Home. It's just brilliant, and it's like three amazing artists collaborating together. I'll have more of that, please. This is Hurry Home featuring J-Som and Biba Doobie by No Rome.
I wanna see it, but it's gonna hurt. We got some problems, but we'll make it work.
Next, I want to move into a demo single that's just been released by Easy Life. They've just put out the demos of 2 records, including Petty Crime. This record's brilliant. I literally heard it yesterday and thought this deserves to be on the show. Easy Life were due to play Reading and Leeds. They came second in the BBC Sound of 2020, so I assume they were probably going to play Glastonbury as well. On lots and lots of lineups this year. They're a really cool act. They released a mixtape earlier in the year, due to release an album later this year. Whether that's going to happen because of COVID, I don't know. We shall see. This record though, absolutely brilliant. This is Petty Crime by Easy Life. I played a record a couple of weeks ago by an artist called Larry Pink the Human. I think I called it Larry the Pink Human then, but it's Larry Pink the Human, which is half of Slaves, and that record that I played has been on heavy rotation. It is absolutely one of the records of the year. It's absolutely spectacular. This record is the follow-up to that single. It's called Might Delete Later. I was talking about this last night with my girlfriend. It has a bit of a 21 Pilots, Imagine Dragons kind of feel on the chorus, whilst also sounding familiar to that first record that they put out, and just very different. They talk about how this was meant to be designed for soundtracks rather than to be played live, but I really would love to see these guys live. I think that would be spectacular. I don't know. I'll let the record speak for itself. This is Might Delete Later by Larry Pink the Human. And incoming, another artist that is incoming is Willie Jay. He has an album out due out August 7th on Yala Records. Now Yala is founded by Felix of the Maccabees, Felix White of the Maccabees, who is a phenomenal human being. Who else are they behind? They're behind artists like the Magic Gang are also part of Yala. Magic Gang's newest stuff is brilliant. Willie Jay, the first time I heard him, wasn't a big fan. This record is phenomenal, absolutely obsessed with this. This has been played loads and loads. So we now have an album date of August the 7th for that one. Hence why it's in the show. It's not the newest record, but it is just showcasing that the album is on the way. I love this record. I hope you do too. This is True Stereo by Willie Jay Healy.
Will you listen to your favorite songs on your radio?
Right, I thought it would just be quite cool to talk about lineups that have been announced for 2021 already. I think a lot of them are just carryovers from this year, but starting with Transmit Festival, we have three headliners. On the Friday, you've got Cortinas, Ian Brown, Sam Fender, Blossoms, TBC, Young Bane, Inhaler, Moose Gospel Choir, Sports Team, Lil Sims, Joy Crooks, Lathams, The Regrets, Red Rum Club, Shambolics, The Ninth Wave, Voodoos, Gallus, Another Sky, The Mysterines, and 1-9. Now, a lot of those artists we've played on this show here, including Inhaler and Sports Team and Lil Sims and The Mysterines. There's some great people on that lineup straight away. I think this shows where next year might be going for a lot of other festivals too. On this Saturday, we have Liam Gallagher, Foles, Keane, AJ Tracy, Twin Atlantic, Bieber Doobie, Picture This, Vistas, Jimmy Eat World, Declan Welsh and the Decandent West, Dylan John Thomas, The Murder Capital, Georgia, Mira May, TBC, Mike McKenzie, Orla Gartland, Rascallion, Pip Blom, The Hara, Vukov, Spires and St. Martinis. We did a couple of WTF videos about them last year, didn't we? Some wonderful acts there. Why the Foles aren't headlining is completely absurd, but okay, fine. Definitely should be headlining over Liam Gallagher in my opinion. Amazing artists that I'd go see there as well include The Murder Capital, Bieber Doobie. I'm gagging to see Bieber Doobie. On the Sunday, Lewis Capaldi, Snow Patrol, Rita Ora, Amy McDonald, Declan McKenna, J1 Seagulls, Laura Kana, Joseph Ash, Ryan McMullin, Ms Banks, Koala, Lyra, Tanzine, Saint Finks, Chloe Moriondo, Aaron Smith, Charlotte, David Keenan, Luke Lavoilp, Sarah and Junberg. Less of a day that I'm obsessed to go see, I have to say there. Declan McKenna probably is the only one that I'd be excited to see on that day. Oh, well, Low Connor as well, of course. So that's looking exciting. We also have Neighbourhood Weekender, which was looking pretty decent and is continuing to look pretty decent. We have on this Saturday the 29th of May, we have Ian Brown supported by Sam Fender, Shed 7, Pale Waves, The Coral, Magic Gang, Sherlock's, The K's, Easy Life, Reverend and the Makers, Gang of Yous, The Murder Capital, Big Moon, The Snuts, Love, Fame, Tragedy, The Mysterines, Zuzu, The Orleys, Airways, Noisy, The Claws, The Hara and Heidi Curtis. Some great names on that lineup. Day tickets only £57. That's just down the road from me, Warrington. I'd go see that. And then on the Sunday, headlining finally, it's Catfish and the Bottom End, supported by the Wombats. Shocker! You'd think that would be the other way around, wouldn't you? Miles Kane, Tom Walker, Lightning Seeds, The Pigeon Detectives, and Blocks. Love Blocks. Paul Heaton and Jackie Abbott, Sundara Karma, love. Seagulls, Inhaler, Sports Team, love. The Lathams, Red Rum Club, Cassia, Working Men's Club, Phoebe Green, Dylan John Thomas, Alfie Templeman, Hero. We love Alfie Templeman on this show. Laura Hebbard, Talk Show, George Crosby, and Blanketman. So, for a little tiny Warrington Victoria Park Festival weekender, that one's a little bit decent, that, isn't it? You've got some corking names for this year. Right, who would I go see? Ian Brown, Sam Fender, Pale Waves, The Magic Gang, Easy Life, Gang of Views, Murder Capital, Big Moon, Love, Fame, Tragedy, Mysterines, Zuzu, Catfish, Wombats, Blocks, Sundara Karma, Seagulls, Inhaler, Sports Team, Cassia. Right, 19 names. 19 names for just over 110 quid-ish. Yeah, I'd go do that for sure. Well, we shall see, perhaps. When is it? 29th to 30th of May. Possible that I will be at Warrington Weekender. We shall see. And the final one is This Is Tomorrow, which I believe is in Newcastle. Yes, Exhibition Park, Newcastle. 3 days. We have Royal Blood supported by Blossoms, Inhaler, Pale Waves, Blocks, Airways, The Illicits, Far Caspian, Bare Roots, Picnic, Sing Again, Cybin, and Het. Saturday, Jerry Cinnamon, The Kooks, Tom Walker, Circle Waves, The Snuts, Dylan John Thomas. Again, he's cropping up everywhere, ain't he, Dylan John Thomas? Cassia, The Dunce, Big Society, Andrew Cushin, Imogen, Martha Hill, and Big Fat Big. And on the Sunday, if you're a Geordie, you're gonna love this. Sam Fender, supported by Loyal Kana, supported by Declan McKenna. Nadine Sahar, El Divine, Arlo Parks, Brooke Bentham, a festival parade, Heidi Curtis and Hector Gannett. Right, okay, there's some amazing names on that one as well, up in the land of the Geordies. Yeah, really cool lineups happening there. Here's the thing, they're all great lineups for this year, but in 12 months' time, like a year, like if you think about last June, Sam Fender hadn't released his album, Declan McKenna was not releasing new music. Inhaler, no one really knew of Inhaler a year ago. I guess I just question what will be big in 12 months' time, and that has to be the biggest problem that festivals will be booking now. It's hard now. Well, it's kind of a bit easier now in June to work out what's going to be popular in August, but it's not easy to soundtrack next summer a summer early, because you don't know who's in the studio, you don't know who's going to get back together, you don't know who's going to not be able to release music in the next 12 months. So it's a bit of a weird time really, because usually you get a lineup and that's the soundtrack for the summer, that's what's big that year. But what's going to be big next year? That's a really hard thing to dictate. I don't know, weird, isn't it? Right, we're going to move on now. The rest of the show is all about discovery. There are some fantastic artists that I have to go over today. We're starting off with Dylan Cartledge. Dylan Cartledge is a gentleman from Middlesbrough. We covered him before Music Club FM. I used to do Music Club episodes, and there were like 3 tracks a week where I would show stuff that I was really liking. I don't know how I decided that by doing a podcast it would make it easier on my life. It doesn't. It definitely doesn't. But oh well. Dylan Cartledge, amazing artist. We've got a few records that he's put out before this one. This one called Yellow Brick Road I have been obsessed with. He's previously worked with Jamie T, and has been a favourite of mine for about a year now really. Nothing more to say. This is Yellow Brick Road by Dylan Cartledge. Next, we're looking at Becca Mancari. She is an artist from, I believe, Staten Island, New York, now based in Nashville, Tennessee. She certainly has that kind of folky, country, indie kind of feel about her. While doing the research for this, I've discovered that she is a member of a band called Bermuda Triangle, which also features Brittany Howard of Alabama Shakes and Jessie Lafsa. This record, I read based in Nashville and folk and just start running the other way, but this is not one of them. This is similar a little bit to True Stereo by Willie Jay Healy, actually, if I'm gonna compare it to anything. I think that she has that kind of really wonderful dreamy sound whilst also having that really fucking cool guitar. Like, this is a really cool record. So there we go. Without further ado, this was Hunter by Becca Mancari. The next record I want to talk about is by Tom Misch and Yusef Days, an album that we will be. I'm going to do an albums so far, albums of the year so far at the end of June, beginning of July probably. And Tom Misch and Yusef Days, What Kind of Music, is just, what an incredible album. From start to finish, it is one of my albums of the year, easily. The first thing that we heard from them was the track What Kind of Music. They have since had that remixed by Jordan Raki. Jordan Raki is from New Zealand. Don't know much about him. I've just managed to pull up his Wikipedia page. He was born the 23rd of May 1992. Happy birthday, Jordan, for last week. Currently based in London. He also performs under the moniker of Dan Kai. This remix is, originally, to start off, that record is spectacular. And sometimes when a record's that good, I don't like it when people go near it. But this remix really changed it into a different record. It also changes tempo and beats, and that, like, it feels full, like really full-bodied. It's a record that it just evokes loads of energy and is just so different. So different. Well, actually, his Wikipedia says that he was born in New Zealand but has an origin in Brisbane. Well, that's okay as well. I'm alright with that. Anyway, certainly one to watch out for. Yeah, this is the Jordan Raki remix of What Kind of Music by Tomish and Yusef Days. Next, I want to go into an artist that I have been keeping my eye on for a good 2 years. Felix Nayo, also known as Salute. He is an Austrian electronic producer based in Manchester, making the best of UK house music at the moment. I wouldn't even call it house. It's like it's moved past what we call house. We had dubstep, it was huge. That moved into deep and tech house. That was huge. Wasn't what I liked. What we're coming out the other side is this kind of garage-inspired future rave. I don't even know how you describe it. Salute though, oh my god. Last year he put out a record called JTS, which used the same sample that Break uses in Slow Down. It's a record that I absolutely loved. And he played around the similar kind of samples. So you've clearly been listening to Break, which is always a good thing. If you're a producer, if you're making dance music, just go and listen to Break, because he's the genius that is. He's described as sounding like a collision of Mount Kimby and Floating Points with the classic sound of UK garage. I think that's true. It doesn't have that kind of corny UK garage feel to it that garage did, especially the more commercial stuff. This feels a lot more thought out, and I don't know. I'm just using words now. It's brilliant. This is Salute's latest record. I love this. I love everything that this guy puts out. Any new single this guy puts out, you can almost guarantee is going on the show, because he's brilliant. This is Matassa by Salute. Next, we're moving into an artist called Luxury, or Luxury, L-X-U-R-Y. Andy Smith is from South London. He also has that kind of housey garage influence that Salute does. I think that would be easy to describe. He initially signed to Disclosure Method Records in 2013. Also has previous releases on Greco-Roman, which is a massive, massive, massive record label. Here's Greco-Roman. Is it something to do with Hot Chip, isn't it, Greco-Roman? Based in Berlin. Errol Alcan, A-Track, Joe Goddard, Roosevelt, Joe Goddard, Disclosure. Oh yeah, early Disclosure was on Greco-Roman. That makes sense. And this record, Do This Forever, is signed to A-Track's Fool's Gold Records. A-Track obviously being an incredibly talented DJ and producer based out of New York, winning DMC championships and going on tour with Kanye West like at 15 years old or something ridiculous like that. Anyway, this record just we put up in my new music playlist and think it's absolutely brilliant. This is Do This Forever by Luxury. And keeping it on this kind of, I don't know, house, dance, electronic tip, we're looking at an artist called Lings, which is a brother and sister collaboration. Amy and Josh Dowell. They're from the Gold Coast in Australia. Good old Gold Coast. They don't have to put up with this bullshit bloody rain. They describe themselves as electronic and house. Well, the remix certainly is anyway. This record is remixed by one of my favourite artists of all time. This is remixed by Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs, an artist that I've absolutely loved in the past. Loved his first album. Me and my best friend Smokey went and saw a band called Darwin D's in Bristol like in 2010 or 11, and Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs were supporting, and we just loved it. We were both hanging out of our face. We played a record called Household Goods, and that was it. The hangover disappeared and we just were loving life. He has gone on to put out some fantastic music over the years and is kind of back and has done 2 remixes for Last Lings on this record, Take My Hand. Has done one that's a bit more techier. This one is the Sky remix and is a bit lighter, but is just wonderful. Without further ado, this is Take My Hand, the Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs remix by Last Lings.
You've got me losing control.
We got 2 more records. The next one is by Jock Noel Usteke, is a Kiwi who makes dance and electronic music under the moniker of Bank, B-A-Y-N-K, Bank, Bank. I think you could easily compare his music to Flume. Easily, that it has that kind of feel to it. I just love this record. Lauren was listening to this record. She said, "Oh, it started so well, and then it lost it when it drops." I think it gains even more when it drops. It's got such a killer dance floor beat. I love it. This is "Kiss Me" by Bank. And to finish off today's show, we're looking at an artist called Scuba. This record, This Is For You. Paul Rose is based in Berlin, makes tech house, techno, bass, dubstep, future garage. Is founded the Hot Flush label when he released material by Mount Kimby and Benga and Joy Orbison alongside his own music. You got 3 incredible artists there. This record has this kind of really cool, I think it's like a marimba sample that reminds me of Luna by Bombay Bicycle Club, or like Coastal Drive by Chibo. Like that kind of blend of those 2 things together is where I'm at with this. It's a proper sunsetting summer driving record. I'll be completely honest with you, Annie Mac finished her show off the other day, and I just got the end of the show, and I thought, great, I'm going to finish my show off like that. So yeah, I'm stealing it. Thanks, Annie. Thank you so much for tuning in so far. What a show today. I threw this one together a little bit, I have to admit. Next week we're going to be looking at Download Festival. So this week I thought we'd go in on Discovery and play some really cool new artists. Next few weeks we're going to be looking at music festivals because we're going into the Hype Festival season, even though it's not happening. Download next week, and then 6 months in, so I want to highlight some of the best records of the year so far, look at some of the albums, what's still to come. We've got Glastonbury coming up. Of course, we've got Reading and Leeds and Truck Festival, and we've got there's just so much to cover. So thank you so much for tuning in this far. I really appreciate it. If you want to get in touch at all, you can DM me on Instagram at Music Club FM. I'm on Twitter as @TequilaFace, or just drop a comment in the description below. I'll reply to all of them. Yeah, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. This is For You by Scuba.